Okay, so that's it. We did it. We made it through it. We flipped through it live. Uh, Brighter with Herbert and their viewers just joined. Say hello, 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 everybody. That's great. Anthony had a question. He's willing to pay. Late joining. Did we address the Politico release and the bump in stock price? Politico, I assume you mean Anthony saying that Elon will be leaving Doge in May. If that's the case, then the White House has said fake news, but the White House says that about a lot of things that turn out to be not fake news. And Elon himself will say that about things that turn out to not be fake news. But as best we can tell, it was a pile of rumors that kept getting a little bit louder until they finally had to be addressed. The what I had seen was on, I guess it was on Brett Baer. He'd said maybe winding down by spring, and then someone went and added, well, it'll be May, and then the next layer was, oh, and somebody's unhappy with somebody else, and then specific ones, and they came out and said, look, it's not like that. When the work is done, it'll be done. If it takes longer than the time period, it takes longer. If it takes less, it takes less. I'm not worried about it either way. There's the amount of political noise is not going to be dramatically affected either way. I do hope that his involvement with Doge is done before the shareholder meeting and before Cybercab Day, because I think that would add a lot of noise, a lot of distraction that we don't necessarily want or need. How is everybody? How is the weather where you are? I'm going to share this because we got a valuable poll here. Did you remember to leave a thumbs up? We've got 15% saying they don't participate in polls, which I find very confusing, very misleading. I don't know what to make of that. If you did ask a question, you can ask it again here just to improve the odds that I see it. I'm going to be not really covering Herbert's chat as much because it was flooded with spam bots and a handful of crazies, just crazies. But if we have time, we'll get there. May or may not, to be determined. I was going to be picking my wife up from the dentist, but her appointment was moved to tomorrow because their scheduling system is all goofed. So let's get into it, shall we? Uh-huh. Every fiber of my being wants to sell. Wait for the crash from the Q1 numbers. Buy it back cheap. Problem is, I always get what's going to happen wrong, so I'm just going to wait. If you'd have asked me what the numbers would have been, if you'd said yesterday, if we beat, what happens? I'd have said, flat, maybe up, maybe down. If you'd have said we're going to miss by Wall Street's numbers by 20,000, I'd have said it's definitely going down. Let's take a look and see how we're doing. Oh, look, it's up. So definitely don't listen to me about short-term predictions. I don't make them. If you think I've made one, that's not me. But more importantly, I would say is that no one knows. No one knows. Well, JP Morgan says this. Well, Wells Fargo changed their price target. Yeah, well, they're guessing. They are guessing. If they knew what they were talking about, they would be too busy counting their money to spend any amount of time telling you how to get some. Let's see. Megastream. Yeah, so what happened was Nick was originally not going to be able to make it. So at the last minute, we invited a bunch of people, and a bunch of them said yes. And on that lineup, I don't know who I would cut. It was a great panel all around. Everyone has their own area of expertise. Larry's very good with the investing. Bradford's very good on the mega packs and the investing. Josh brings automotive side experience that none of us have. So it's a very, very valuable panel. Great lineup. Less than 10 minutes late. Look at me go. Welcome. I had to open a new window to get it going. Sometimes that happens. Yesterday's Patreon exclusive uploaded to 2 of my 3 platforms, but not all of them. So I had to re-upload it today. Very frustrating. So the YouTube channel members didn't get yesterday's video until today. There's no brand damage, just snowflakes crying. There is brand damage. There is brand damage. It is absolutely real. We may not recognize it where we individually live, but it's real. And there are places where it's more real than others, and they are places where a lot of people live. Chattanooga is not a liberal city, and there was a lot of noise, and people can People can say, some honestly, that they've never experienced it, but it's absolutely real. If I had sold the recent all-time high, I would have bought back in 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I know, but if I had a time machine, I would go back in time and date Marty McFly's mother. What? I don't think that's right. From Canada, it looks much worse on social media. Reality is I've never seen so many Teslas on the road. Social media amplify. Well, media. Well, people. When we say media lies, that's true. When we say social media lies, that's true. But really, the bottom line is people lie. I was talking with a gentleman who was in some country and there were huge protests and he was freaking out. Is this, should I be in danger? And they're like, no, the protests, that was yesterday. It was a little part of town square. So, right. But that's all you saw in the news was that one square where all the protests were happening. Your odds of getting vandalized, drive your car to the store, park it today. The odds of getting vandalized are still like 1 in a million. So I wouldn't worry about it as much. Do have another one here from Anthony. Did you see my question about the Politico release? At the moment, the stock rose. I'm curious on the dynamics of this, even if it is just FUD. Is that, I mean, you're talking about, did the stock jump because people believed Elon's coming back sooner than he is? I would say no, because that story has been circulating in versions since at least Saturday morning. Saturday morning is when I saw it. And I know because there were people at the Chattanooga Charge who asked me if I had seen the news and what I thought of it. And that was what I found at that time. So yes, even when I'm on the road, I'm still following the news obsessively. Days off. What's a day off, you guys? It's just not how I'm built. It's like the first time I took my wife to a restaurant without our kids. All we could think was how nervous we were that the kids weren't there because we were in parent mode. Let's jump over here. Let's see how the thumbs up is going. Doing it now is winning currently. Leave a thumbs up if you haven't. And let me know in the comments, how many thumbs are we at? My desk is very busy. My desk is very busy. Let's see. Okay. Hello to the Tunnies. Hello to David. Hello to Eric. And Digital Blade Canada, who joined yesterday's newest episode of Fast Charging with B&B as a channel regular, as a fan of the old podcast. We had some fun. By the way, if you saw any of yesterday's April Fool's jokes on my channel, do you have a favorite? Afternoon, folks. Be safe. Yes, rebels. We have 8 inches of snow in central Minnesota. Oh, it's April. Come on, Minnesota. Oh, that sounds just cold. I'm done with winter, man. I'm done with it. Great weather in Alabama today. Very cool. I hope you had a good, safe drive home. I was going to ask about that, but I had to, I didn't think of it until I was almost asleep. Estimated production numbers for Optimus in 25, 6, and 7. Don't have estimated numbers yet. I could give you a range, but it would be very wide. Anywhere from a few thousand in not, 0 and 25, a few thousand in 26, maybe 10,000 in 27 would be the bottom end. Anywhere up to 10 to 20,000 this year, 400,000 next year, and millions beyond. We just don't know what Tesla will determine is the minimum viable product for a wide release. Don't know. Thought it was crafty of Tesla to show the Optimus Gen 2 walking rather than Gen 3. That way they get the message out without giving away trade secrets. Exactly. Herbert and I have a show coming up about that. We shot it this morning. Exactly. You don't have to... I just saw a demo from Figure or somebody that proves that they're ahead. No, we don't know what the actual skills are of something that we're only seeing a demo of. It could be much less than it really is, or they could be sandbagged. They could have something that's vastly better than what they show. We've seen so many demos over the past 50 years of a product that isn't actually real. Even Edison's demonstration of the first light bulb was faked. I've got a light bulb that will burn, not for a few minutes or a few hours, but for days and days and days. He didn't. But I can prove it. Here, come on in for my demo. And he would bring in journalists and engineers and investors to see it one by one. But every time they'd leave, somebody would swap it out with another bulb. Look at the original iPhone demo. It wasn't an iPhone, it was a stack of iPhones with each one set to flawlessly perform one task in order. Wahaha. Okay. What car do I expect to be used in the Austin Pilot, Cybercab, or 3Y? I expect them to have a few Cybercabs and mostly Ys. And why not 3s? Ys have more utility and they have surplus capacity in Austin and they make them in Austin. So I think it'll be mostly Ys, handful of Cybercabs. Sell? Not a chance. What do I expect for this earnings call when Tesla renamed it to a company update? It hadn't occurred to me that they had decided to call it something different. I think it'll still just be an earnings call, but that there will also be a company update. But interesting. What do I expect? Maybe give me a second on that. A mini investor day, a mini shareholder meeting is what I expect. Yeah, I guess that's what I expect. Digital Blade, but that Optimus walk finally looks human-like. I don't care what it looks like. I care how it performs. If it has wheels and performs, I don't care. What I would like, though, is my Roomba to walk around in a creepy, terrifying way. No, I don't actually want that. Let's see. Anthony, if I got the question wrong, let me know if I misunderstood the question. Do you think Tesla's used this Model Y production downtime to also prepare factories for the cheaper model? I believe it was done at the same time. Since it's going to be built on the same line, if you're already retooling the line, retool it for both. So yes, I do believe that. Interestingly, did see, very weird, a viewer sent me camouflage footage of what looks like a Model Y in, I think it was Ontario or Montreal. And why there? Why camouflage? And of course, the camouflage did its job. We couldn't really tell what we were looking at. Got to turn off my heat here because I got enough heat. I announce it so people don't think it's a smoke alarm. So yes, I do think that is what it's for. Stock movement is kind of crazy. Yep, it is. Agree entirely. Every time someone says brand damage, for a moment I think they're saying brain damage. Also appropriate. Agreed. Yeah. Let's see. So here we go. Pretty sure July will be chaotic after the earnings. I am just hoping that the Cybercab event doesn't fall on the weekend that we're doing our summer meetup in Muskegon, because I can't miss that. And I would really like to go to an event, a Tesla product event, ever. It'd be cool. One of these days, man. One of these days. Do I think Model X will be used for high capacity robotaxi? Maybe. Yeah, I think so. If you need 5-6 people, I don't think you want to jam them all into a Model Y, but maybe. Tough to say. They certainly have the capacity to build a bunch that no one else is lining up to buy. We also have to do something about this Tesla Brian damage. I agree. That's well done. Well played. Watching Mark try to keep it together for 3 seconds was the most fun. Yeah, I tell you, not giggling during our moments of silence with Randy was quite difficult. Brighter was definitely the best. That video got real bright. Brand damage from the SX and Cybertruck numbers down. Yes. And I've got a video coming up with Herbert in 2 days where we're discussing SNX is at the end of the road. Let's see. Just got my first 100 shares at 250, prepared for the long haul. Licensing of driverless tech looks promising. What made the bump today? So that was your question, is what made it bump today? Hey man, no one knows, right? It's so weird. I just don't know. I don't know that Politico story had the kind of visibility it would take to make something like that. But there are algorithmic traders, bots, that study not fundamentals, but news, that watch breaking news and try to trade based on that. Risky. Probably the last cool day, 71 degrees, we have in Phoenix until late October. I've only been to Phoenix in the summer. I find it very unpleasant. I'm told that for a lot of the year, it's real nice. Have not been during those times. Am I glad to be home? Yeah, yeah. Although when I came out of the airport and it was 41 degrees, I was like, yep, I'm home. Uh-huh. Let's see. FSD got me home at 12% from the park, at 81% with no charging stops. Love trips in warm weather. Nice. Nice. Oh yeah, one long drive. That's great. Oh. Do you think that the unsupervised launch in Austin will initially require a safety driver, or are they doing that now? There are drivers in Model Ys around Texas. Tesla has already test drivers in Austin. You can say you heard it from me, but I can't tell you where I heard it from. But they do already have this. I don't know. It'll all depend on the results of this testing. Based on what I'm seeing from the version of FSD I have, 13 dot whatever it is, I think a safety driver would be critical still. But I don't know what the next build is, and we haven't gotten a major build in a while. So, yeah. Thank you for your most accurate among competition production numbers you've been giving out 1 to 2 years ago. I would assume you don't do them anymore. No, I did. I said 372, 420 was my production number. It was within 10,000. So I know on Troy's delivery number, he was off by 20,000. And Troy does not like me. He's had me blocked for a while because I called out his methodology problems. I just don't make a big deal out of my production and delivery numbers because it is such a small percentage of the business. Even when I was doing big videos on them, it was only 1% of what I do on this channel. And for Troy, it's his whole world. And he's tried branching out from there. But his coverage of other things is not as sticky. It has not shown him the same kind of success. So difficult. 200 plus viewers, only 100 likes. Hit the like button, guys. Will Elon leaving Doge help Tesla stock? I'm thinking yes. I'm thinking yes too. I don't see how it will hurt. Used EVs are going to make a lot of new EV drivers. True. And if people really were dumping their Teslas in record numbers, that's not the end of the story. You're not selling Elon's car. You're selling your car. And you're fine to do that. 90 in Florida today. Not a fan. Yeah, but the humidity is only what? 97, 98%? How bad could it be? Damn, bank thinks my super chats are fraud. Well, that sounds like you have Wells Fargo because they do not like Tesla stuff. Who's the other one? JP Morgan. Their price targets are... Forgot to mention the video with Randy yesterday. It was hilarious. Had me for a minute. I did have someone who say, I only watch your videos in the car. So I put it on and then I can't see it because as soon as I start moving, YouTube Premium, it just blacks out the screen and I can hear it. And I think, oh, it's stuck. It must be my darn AT&T connection. And then I stop and look at it and nope, it's Brian staring at me. What fun. What do I think of Trevor Milton's pardon? I think it is a disaster. I think it is evidence of very, very bad things afoot. I think if anyone tries to explain or hand wave or justify, they are a bad person and they should be shunned. And I think if anyone is excusing the behavior of pardoning Trevor Milton, who committed hundreds of millions of dollars of fraud and whose restitution is now almost impossible, he gets to keep hundreds of millions of dollars by paying a very small bribe because Trevor Milton's attorney is Attorney General Pam Bondi's brother. So that is the textbook definition of corruption, and everyone involved should never be allowed anywhere near power or money again. But they will be because, that's how money works. Well, Elon's political joyride appears to be coming to an end. The board of SpaceX and Tesla tap him on the shoulder, or did he finally come to his senses? We don't know. We don't even know if it's true. Any update on Arcimoto? no, no, no. And on that one, I made a video saying years ago, I went down to Arcimoto, I saw the factory, I drove the vehicle, and I said, I am concerned about this investment. And I got absolutely piled on by people saying, you don't understand it. You don't know what you're talking about. You haven't even seen it. I'm like, I'm in the video. I don't know what to tell you. And that was very frustrating. And I let it push me back a bit. And I softened. And I then was right. And I have not permitted myself to be pushed around like that since. Because when I see a strength or a weakness, I will call it out. And if you don't like it, tough. That's just tough. Because all the calls I've made have been right. I don't know. I get people saying, oh, Brian, you misunderstand VinFast. Do I? Because so far I've been right. I don't know what else to say. And that's true of NIO. Oh, NIO, but their battery swaps are good. Great. For whom? Are they good for the company? No. They might be good for you if you're going to use it to abuse the heck out of a battery and swap it out with a brand new one. That's great, but there is no free lunch. Someone's paying for it, and the company's paying for it. If you look at NIO's financials, they are in a world of hurt. Great cars, I'm told. Slower Cuber, thank you so much. Plan to keep Pearl for 8 more years. But if a tax deduction for a newer Tesla loan interest happens, I might talk myself into an upgrade sooner if it reduces my annual cost. Yeah. Tello truck. Which one is that again? Let me look it up. That's the modular one, right? Tello trucks. Oh, yeah, I'm following them. Am I following them? I am. I'm following them. I'm excited. I hope they make it. They don't have enough money. They are. That makes it real hard. I hope they make it. I think they're in Southern California, right? I don't have plans to go to Southern California. I may need to just make plans. Milton probably promised a payment to Trump. Am I wrong? Last I heard, he made a $900,000 contribution. So it was less than $1 million to purchase a pardon for stealing hundreds of millions of dollars. I really wanted Arcimoto to succeed as well. Do I expect any Q1 news about robots? I do not. Anyone suspicious of the current stonk price? SEC investigation warranted? Something smells bad. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't understand what concern, and I don't even know which direction you mean. So I would say no. Without a doubt, Tesla will have safety drivers. I think so. And if they do roll out with cybercabs, on day one, I imagine there would be a 1-to-1 supervisor ratio back at the mothership. Yeah, he already gave the Trump campaign millions. So I think he was going to get this deal before the election. Here in California, my car registration went up to more than 700. But they're trying to recoup lost gas taxes. 700. Well, but you're in California. They have great public transportation. Just take the bus. It'll only take you 3 hours to get to work. It's unfortunate. It's what I love about the Northeast is transit. The density makes it so that transit can work, and transit grew up with the population. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. Brian needs to come to SoCal. I do. You guys know my schedule. I probably wouldn't be able to make it until the fall, which is a lovely time. My grandparents lived in Seal Beach, so we got to visit them a lot when I was a kid, go to all the theme parks. Thoughts on Tello? Not yet. I think that's what you're asking. Or I don't know what you're asking. It doesn't matter. Horrible public transportation. Yes, this is true. So we are getting towards the end. Last I heard, Giga Berlin is no more. Turns out that was a April foolery, is what that was. But I enjoyed all of the April foolery. But the video with Simon, where we discussed the light shows, that was take 2, because the first take, he was connected on his phone via 4G, and the quality just was not there. So unfortunately, I was like, but the second take was better. The 2 main guys at Tello are from Washington. Cool. That's the kind of place I would love to go see, go talk to, check it all out. Yeah. They even sucked in the exhaust coming out of the roof. Yeah, it was amazing, that deconstruction of Berlin. It was really well done. But again, apologies. I do have to issue a retraction. It turns out that was April foolery. Oh, I am going to jump over here real quick because there's probably a few important things. Any advertising is good advertising. Not true. When Jack in the Box had an E. coli outbreak, it just about killed the company, even though Jack in the Box for the first time became a real household name. It just became a household name synonymous with E. coli. So I would argue that not all advertising is good advertising. Ford Pinto got a lot of free press about blowing up. Not the best thing. And by the way, Pinto, well, yeah, like we have a Mustang, that's a horse, and a Pinto, that's a horse. A Pinto is a bean. I don't know how to tell you this. My guess is this won't even be a conversation by the end of the year. With your upload schedule, Brian, do you sleep? Yeah, because I have an editor. But do I sleep? Yeah, I sleep. I chose not to live stream the delivery report this morning because I just needed to get some sleep. I needed to catch up from the weekend. Don't bother talking about the brand damage, but it's real. We need to talk about it. I mean, Tesla may not need to talk about it, but we need to. If we're going to be, we need, as an investor, my job is to keep my eyes wide open. And I feel like a lot of the hyperbulls do not like to discuss uncomfortable realities. But I feel like that's, yes. And not only can it equal lower sales, but it can also equal, as Jesse says, lower sales prices. When enthusiasm is high, you don't need to cut prices as much. You don't need to offer 0% financing. Because there is a price point at which people are willing to look the other way on something that may be minor to you or minor to them. But yeah. And guys, if you come out to these events, you'll get to meet not just me, but all kinds of other people. A lot of people meet folks that they've met in chat. I would see people get introduced to someone and go, I've been in a space with you on X. It's a lot of fun. When is my next show in the Pacific Northwest? Well, where in the Pacific Northwest are you? Because next Thursday, I'll be at the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association, just as a member. I'm a member of that club. It's going to be held at, where is it? But the next Pacific Northwest one will be, put it on here. I didn't put where. But the next the next Pacific Northwest event will be in Portland at the Daimler Truck headquarters on April 27th, where I'll be giving two presentations, one about the magic of Cybercab and one about all the things that I will have learned in China about electric vehicles there. So oeva.org is how you find out more about that one in the Pacific Northwest. Hope to see you there. And of course, you'll have to say, by the way, I'm that guy who asked that thing. Olympia. Yeah, I mean, that's not too far. The Washington Club doesn't do as many events as I'd like. The Price Master. I have not. I'll maybe have to look that up. What's the Michigan event? When, where? See if I've already got it open somewhere. I'll just open it. Let's see. There we go. TeslaMichigan.org, I think. There we go. Summer meetup tickets now available. It's in Muskegon. It is on June 20th and 21st. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So I will be there for that as I am. This will be my third year there. It's a lot of fun. And so let me jump back over here. Oh, right over here. And I'll share this again. Kanye is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I thought he liked fish sticks. Ever seen this kid? Okay, what's the Michigan event? VinFast has a showroom in the Topanga Mall. Cars seem okay. I've demoed one. Apparently their second gen was much better than their first, but they bought favorable press. They bribed all those influencers with a all expenses paid luxury trip to Vietnam for a week and then gave them 10 minutes with the car and said, say what you want to say. And they said nice things because because they love the gravy train. Portland is the other big city around here. Yeah, I'm closer to Portland. I'm in Longview. Great to see the episode of you and Bear again, especially after missing a couple weeks. Yeah, we missed. We weren't on the week before, or the week before that, so it might have been May of 2023. All right, how do I do in connections yesterday? Connections yesterday? Oh, bombed. Oh, I bombed. I got one. I got the monetary one and none of the others. Yeah, he's a ye fish. All right, just in time for me to say it. Yes, everybody, if you're catching this on the replay, like, subscribe, do what you do. Leave a comment. It is optional today. It is not mandatory, but I will be very sad if you don't leave one. And everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity flop. And Ollie T, congratulations on your Model 3. Now, if I could just move this so I can see where the end button is.